and welcome to Connecting Hawaii Business on ThinkTech Hawaii. My name is Kathleen Lee, owner of Kathleen Lee Consulting, and I am your host for this program. ThinkTech Hawaii is a platform that encourages civic engagement through conversations that educate, enlighten, and inspire. We are live streamed on thinktechhawaii.com as well as on ThinkTech Hawaii's Facebook page. Ooh, I started there. For those who are watching and would like to send us questions during the show, you can send it to questions@thinktechhawaii.com. So the fun part of being on the show is that I get to talk to friends who are doing great things for the community. And today is no different. We have the General Manager for International Marketplace, Brianna Grosz. Hey, Bree, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here and just also catch up with you, who is also doing such amazing things in the community.
That's so sweet. I know you mentioned that you wanted to share a quote, so let's hear it, Bree.
So I think for the viewers, Kathleen and I used to work together, 4 or 5 years ago now. So we also were coworkers at one point, and you've just inspired so much of my spiritual or my mindfulness as how I approach every day. So I came across this quote from one of, the note from the universe emails that we get. And you introduced me to it. So I thought it'd be perfect to share what today's email was. It says, "The greatest achievements, Brianna, are all started with the smallest of steps. Like the skipper who hoisted the sails for the yacht to circumnavigate the globe, like the farmer who planted the seeds that grew into an abundant harvest, and like the little soul who imagined the day of becoming all that you know, and like the little soul who imagined the day of becoming all that you now are. High five, the universe."
I see what you did there. That is super sweet. Thank you, Bree. That's a great quote.
Yeah, I think so much of how you and I do business is equal parts, business, but also leading with aloha. And that's just, things like that, just bringing in that heart into what we do every day makes, my job and what, we're doing in the community that much more impactful and fun. So I thought it'd be a nice way to start our conversation.
See, this is why you're one of my favorite people. Thank you so much for that. So, as we know, you are the General Manager of International Marketplace, but if you'd like to tell our viewers today more about yourself.
Yeah, so I don't have a traditional track of how I got here. I actually graduated from Michigan State University with a human biology degree. I was on that pre-med, wanted to be a doctor track. Moved to LA after graduation, worked at UCLA Hospital. I worked in surgical pathology, but all my friends outside of work were in the entertainment industry and doing these really fun, creative things and taking leaps of faith every day and being really successful at it. I mean, we're talking people who worked for J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg and just really amazing people. And I'm like, if these people can do it, whom I admire, I can at least try. And so that's what kind of started spinning the wheels of me kind of searching to get back on my path of wanting to lead an inspiring and wonderful life and career. And then so kind of fast forward, landed in PR, worked with you, moved to Hawaii, then applied for this job at International Marketplace, the job being PR and marketing, moved up in there because I also have a passion for operations and standard operating procedures. And so now all of it's meshed together in addition to community relations and so much more, including the history and culture of International Marketplace, that every day I get to come to work and I think, it's like, what if the kids ran the mall, but in a fun, inviting way, just to reestablish this center like IMP was in its heyday.
When you actually got on ThinkTech Hawaii, when we were first working together, and I thought that was so exciting. I was so proud of you. I still am now.
Well, I love that about life, that, I'm sitting here today. Before, when we worked together, we were behind the camera with our clients, helping them be on camera. And here, I am, and you're interviewing me, and it's just funny how life works, right?
It is funny how life works. But I'm glad. I'm super glad.
Same. No, it's been so fun. I'm so honored to hold this position, especially, I started as the GM in June of 2019. And obviously with the pandemic hitting in 2020, it's just been a fun, definitely a challenge, but I'm so thankful to lead this truly special place every day.
Let's talk about that before we launch into the updates, which is what the show is about, International Marketplace updates. Let's talk about how the pandemic has affected this iconic place that people went to and suddenly they didn't. So what were the challenges that you folks faced, and how did you come up with solutions, or how did you adapt? It's a two-part question, but
Yeah, well,
I'll
yeah,
let
and
you start that off.
feel feel free to jump in and redirect me if I veer off course. But right, so International Marketplace had remained open throughout the whole pandemic because we did have about 8 essential operators that could remain open. So myself and my ops people were on site still every day during the pandemic to support them, and then also those tenants that were not coming to work, just to answer any questions or whatnot. But it was definitely very challenging, and just like all of us, kind of, we grew accustomed to understanding the uncertainty, or trust in the unknown. We didn't know what was ahead, but we knew we had to take things day by day. I'll tell you that during the lockdown, Waikiki was, there wasn't anyone here because that was before we had the pre-testing program that started in October of 2020. So that was also kind of eerie. Like there was one day where a chicken was like the only person on Kalakaua, or animal, and there was no one, and it was just devastating to see. And so your heart was just kind of being pulled a little bit too much during those lockdowns. But fortunately enough, we've reopened. This is now back in late 2020, and since then, week over week, we've seen vast improvements, not only International Marketplace with traffic and safe operations, but also throughout Waikiki. So it's exciting to be a part of that, movement and, just excitement, but of course, always making sure we're doing it safely. And so it was really neat to see the team and, myself even look at, we'd get the executive orders and make sure, how are we going to operationalize those things? Things like social distancing in restrooms are, a lot of operations weren't built to 6-foot social distancing code. So we had to reinvent the wheel with the current operation. And so it was definitely challenging, but I love a good challenge. And also that camaraderie that the team and I, we'd wake up every day, come to work. Okay, what kind of problem do we need to solve today? And we'd solve it and we'd figure it out. So we also had to work more efficiently and fluidly. And, some of it, you took out, not that my company, like we don't have a lot of red tape, but we had to work quickly. So I think we've all adapted and kind of streamlined our operations to a smoother, more effective way. So there's still a lot, despite the tragedy of things, there's a lot of good that has come out of it from an operations standpoint that we continue to assess and see if we're going to keep it, going forward. I have so much more to say on that. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, well, let's put up a couple of photos that you had shared with us. The Noa Noa and the Happy Wahine,
Yeah.
photos, which
So
are
these
part
are
of the International Marketplace.
Yeah, these are 2 current tenants, and just kind of good visuals to show, folks at home or at work, what some of our tenants are. But I've been so proud of how our team works with new tenants, that I really wanted to package what we do, from marketing to leases. We offer really quick and flexible lease terms, such as, a pop-up or an inline space, as you saw there with Noa Noa and Happy Wahine. We help with store design, temp or permanent leasing, marketing. We have one-on-one meetings with any tenant that wants to meet with us. And so I'm just really proud of how all departments, both at International Marketplace and at our corporate office in Michigan, work with our tenants. It's truly a partnership. And so we launched this program, which Taubman has had for a while, but we launched it here locally at International Marketplace a few weeks ago, but it's called Emerge with Taubman. And essentially, it just kind of bundles it up to like kind of package it up better, and like more, the messaging is around it to kind of advocate what we do, because we're so proud of how we work with our tenants. It's truly a partnership. So those were some current examples of tenants, but anyone listening, if you have an idea, don't hesitate to contact me, because no idea is crazy. And if you have a tenant idea or a pop-up idea, I want people to feel comfortable to come and talk, and let's explore opportunities together.
I think I mentioned that we did get a question that was sent to me regarding marketing efforts. So let me just read that question to you. With
Yeah.
tourism still fairly weak, what kind of efforts, marketing efforts, have been executed to attract locals?
Yeah. Well, International Marketplace has been here since 1957, and it's always, been at our core. We're owned by the land is owned by Kinama Land Company. There's such deep ties to the local community. So whenever we're approaching marketing, we always focus on our Kama Aina market first, and then we obviously look at our visitor market. So throughout even the pandemic, we did things for holiday and Fukubukuro, and then most recently Chinese New Year. So because we're still celebrating here, Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, you can actually still redeem a gift with purchase until February 28th. Let me make sure I get that right. Yeah, so we're celebrating the year of the ox still. And if you spend $50 or more, you can come to our customer service and get a customized little goodie box, which I think we have a photo of to show folks just in case they want to come down and still celebrate with us. So things like that. And then just looking at, obviously from a marketing standpoint, we did so many events. We had our nightly hula show, which attracted over 300 people nightly. Obviously, we can't do that anymore. So it's really trying to still, promote and educate about our cultural programming and just other regular like food and beverage events, but still do it safely. So with Chinese New Year, we did a photo op that was socially distant with, some our Chinese, our lions and everything. So it's still like a way you still want to engage and still have, customers come out and experience and all of that, but obviously do it safely.
That's awesome. Great. We actually have more updates coming from you, but we are going to go on break. So when we come back, we will go over the rest of the updates from International Marketplace. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Connecting Hawaii Business on ThinkTech Hawaii. My name is Kathleen Lee, and our guest today is Brianna Grosz, General Manager for International Marketplace. So when we left off, she was talking about updates going on, and Chinese or Lunar New Year was mentioned. So Bree, what other things are happening at IMP currently? Let's pull up Girls' Day, the first photo.
Yeah. As you know, Girls' Day and International Women's Day is right around the corner. And to celebrate both, if you spend $25 or more, you'll receive an International Marketplace beach bag or yoga mat. And then also we're working with you can enter in to win a Waikiki staycation at the Beachcomber, and a $300 shopping spree. So you can get a staycation and also do some shopping here with us. So it's super fun to celebrate both Girls' Day and International Women's Day. Our promotion will go from March 3rd until the 10th, but then we also have Eating House 1849, who has had some yummy, they just did a new menu when they reopened, and also they have some yummy food to also celebrate Girls' Day. They have a shirashi bowl for $35, and you can get that from March 3rd until the 6th. I'm like looking at that, and I'm like, let's go get it now, but it's not ready yet.
Right now. Let's pull up the Girls' Day second photo. This is what you had mentioned, right? This is part of the current promo. It's a bag, and what was the other item?
Yes, this is the beach bag. It actually unzips and even has an inflatable pillow attached to it. So you can like unzip it into an actual beach mat. So it's like multi-function, which I love. And then there's also a yoga mat, which isn't pictured. So just a bunch of little goodies. Essentially, anytime you're here, come down to our guest services and ask like, what's the latest? Because odds are something is always happening at International Marketplace.
Yeah, so many things. Let's pull up Shorefire. First photo for the Shorefire.
Shorefire is just so much fun. This is a Bloody Mary, and so they have a wonderful brunch menu, great cocktails. It overlooks Kalakaua. They have this beautiful lanai. They're always doing music nightly, and they also have a really awesome weekend concert series. I think Tavana is playing this weekend, so always check out their latest tickets and whatnot for what's going on. But again, like if you're looking for something fun to do, really good food and entertainment, again, done safely. Check out Shorefire Eating House, or of course, International Marketplace's website.
Yeah, let's pull out that second photo for Surefire, just so, because I knew it was a food photo. I didn't want to
Yeah,
miss out on a food photo. So I see poke here. Is that a specialty for the restaurant?
definitely. But it's also just showing off the yummy food that they have. And we just wanted to make you salivate for for everything.
Thanks, Bree. That's great. Nothing
Sorry, I know
similar.
if we were in person, I might bring some food samples with me, but we can't be
Dang
right
it.
now.
Hey, but speaking of
Yeah.
that, you had mentioned that tier 3 is here, right? So
Yeah.
Hawaii is opening up more and letting more people, visitors in. Can you talk more about that and how it affects international marketplace?
Well, in tier 3, it impacts the retailers who are currently limited to only 50% occupancy or capacity, and now they can go, full blown to 100%. But of course, you still have to maintain 6-foot distancing and whatnot. And then for restaurants, you can only seat up to 5 people per table, and now it'll be expanded to 10. So those are really big impacts for retailers and restaurants, and of course, for the whole community and all of our other businesses, there's a lot of other updates too. But it's just an exciting time, and just, that glimmer of hope that we're, the vaccines are coming out, and, mayor's doing, a great job, and just keeping everything moving along. And it's just, that hope at the end of the tunnel.
I love that. I really do. I'm not just saying that but I think it's wonderful that we're able to kind of slowly but steadily go back to how things were. And on
Yeah.
that note, I see that you guys have something called music and mixology. What is that?
Yeah. So talk about doing marketing during COVID-19. We couldn't have people come down here, especially during the lockdowns, but we would have musicians from all over the islands. They would perform on our social media channels. So we still, these musicians previously were performing at our restaurants, and with the restaurants closed, we wanted to still give back. And a lot of what International Marketplace does, like tied to our history, is music, and is part of our culture. So with music and mixology, we launched the series where you could still have that. And now it's updated that we bring musicians and mixologists from our restaurants down to our treehouse on level 2, and we'll perform. And it's still, we still can't have people come down and watch it, but you can still watch it on our social media channels. There's always enter to win, so you can win gift cards and just learn other updates there. But it's super fun, and we have another show happening this Friday at 4 p.m. and we have the island reggae duo Kush County playing.
That's a lot. I would love to do like a day in the life documentary of Brianna Grosz, just to follow her around, because there's so many things that are happening at International Marketplace, and I know that things are just picking back up, but I want to see how that looks right now.
Well, and you bring up a good point. I don't do it by myself, and it's because of my wonderful team that we are able to do all of this. And I think during the pandemic, it was, again, a big honor to lead such an awesome team, and I wanted to make sure that during it, we could, have a positive and safe work environment. And we were doing Zoom games together, and, still getting a lot of work done, and it was challenging, but just wanting to keep the office morale up. So yes, the team is how we're able to do all of this, and I definitely do not do it alone. So I'm so thankful to them.
Very cool. And we have a last photo, which is the Stargazers of Hawaii.
This is such an awesome experience, you guys. So I was following Nick Bradley. He's the owner and of Stargazers Hawaii, and he was talking about, looking for a venue to pop up and have his telescope. And I said, hey, did you ever think of, popping up on my 3rd level? And that's where all of our restaurants are. And we literally say dine under the stars. And so now you can come down to International Marketplace, and the dates vary, but you can literally dine and then go see the moon through Stargazers of Hawaii's telescope.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Okay, so okay, really clever, by the way, to tie all that in.
I told you, we're just having fun here. I was telling Kathleen, I'm like, if the kids rule them all in a safe, I'm not a kid anymore, but how do we make fun experiences? Because that's what we want people to do. Our Kama'aina and our visitors, we want to educate them about the history and the culture of International Marketplace, but also make new memories with us. And this is just one of the ways we're doing that.
The Stargazers of Hawaii telescope, is it one telescope? Do people have to wait in line, or?
Yep, they wait in line 6 feet apart, and then you get to give Nick your phone, and he'll take a photo of the moon. You also get to see it with your eye, but then he'll take it for you so you can like have your own photo of it. And I kid you not, I was a science major, as I shared earlier, and there's something really special about seeing the stars and the moon and even planets with your own eyeball instead of looking at a textbook. And it's like you do feel like a little kid again. And it's just Nick's so great, and he's really tied in. We have our celestial pond on level 1 that pays homage to the Native Hawaiian like art and science and history of wayfinding, and he ties some of that into the education, and so it's truly a special experience.
And I know you've gone over what's been going on, but on like a kind of like a more far-sighted vision, what are we expecting from International Marketplace for the rest of 2021, especially with you at the helm?
Yeah. So we're currently talking to a few new tenants, and we can't announce it yet, but I would anticipate that hopefully by year end, you'll know who those tenants are, maybe be dining or shopping at them. And so that's like something really exciting and just a lot of good activity happening. Other things like when more of our restaurants open up, we'll be bringing back our Mixology series. We do a month-long, cocktail fused month. And so that will be happening Grand Lanai Restaurant Week later this year. Also, we're celebrating our 5th-year anniversary in August. So look to see updates and activations that we'll do around that. So again, this is just kind of our normal, it's not even normal, it's our next normal operations we're doing right now in marketing, but we're still, kind of leading up to the big events, but done safely.
I'll have you close this out with with a question that you are familiar with. Bree, is there anything else that you would like to add?
You know what? I just love being a part of this property and this community. And, again, we talked about doing business with Aloha. And, I've never been as close as I am to other business leaders, even other shopping center general managers, as I have been during this pandemic. And Hawaii is such a wonderful place. And all we have to do is keep operating safely, but keep working together. And I'm super hopeful and positive for the future.
Very nice. And thank you again for being on the show. I really appreciate it. And I am looking forward to visiting International Marketplace beyond just
Wow.
walking by it, because it became part of my walk in Waikiki since I
Yeah.
wasn't sure which stores were open.
We'll have to plan something and check out some poke bowls or Bloody Marys.
Yes, exactly, as you pictured here. So thank you again so much. And
No.
to the viewers of the show, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have gained a lot of information, especially on our conversation on updates for International Marketplace. Again, our guest for today was Brianna Grosz, General Manager, and my name is Kathleen Lee. Thank you again, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.